Hey everyone, welcome to our show, the Hot Toys Recap. I just had a baby, so we haven't been on since January 1st, so we're going to go back. I'm no longer paying a monthly subscription for Zoom, which means that we only have 40 minutes, which means that we'll probably do a part two. So just stay tuned for that if you want to hear all the way up to the end of March. All right, we're going to start with King Shark. Are you getting this,
Yeah.
Everett?
Um, I actually had the opportunity to see that figure in person yesterday, and I think having seen it, no, I'm not gonna get it.
How come?
Eh, you know what? It's a little too big for my taste, and I don't really have a place for it in my cabinet. Like I only have three. Okay, I have two DC figures, technically three if you count Zod that I don't have on display. But
When did
I
you get
mean,
Zod?
I got Zod like I don't know, a couple months ago. I
How
got him
come?
used. I got him used. I thought I could do some cool experimentation with the armor, but
Well, its
I mean,
value has
I don't
gone
have
up
enough room
now.
for it. It has,
Yeah, because he showed up in that Flash trailer.
yeah. I don't know. But King Shark now. I don't think I'm gonna get him. I don't have enough space, or not. I don't have a.
Well, he's a weird character because he's part of James Gunn's DC universe that he's now in charge of all DC. But
Mhm.
if I'm being honest, like this is a very forgettable movie. I know
Yeah,
some people probably like it, but it's like I forgot that this movie even existed. Um, so for me, that's why it's a no. But honestly, if I wanted a King Shark figure, this would probably be good enough because I don't want to pay a bunch of extra money for like some brand new silicone body and all the issues that come with those seamless bodies and all that crap. A
yeah.
power pose figure is perfectly fine for me, but I see this as being a shelf warmer.
Hmm.
All right, let's move on. So you've got
Clone
Obi-Wan
Wars
from
Kenobi.
Clone Wars.
That's
It,
like that's his clone armor. It doesn't look bad, but this is
it's
also a
not
figure that I'm
animated.
not gonna get. Yeah, it's not animated. Well, they have an animated version, but
Yeah.
yeah, this is the Ewan McGregor version.
This is the same sculpt from the other release.
Is it?
I think so. I think it is. I
Hmm.
think they just did a better job with the mouth area. I think. I don't know. Actually, maybe it is new.
He looks like he's got decent posability at least, and I mean, if he would look perfect in your display if he had Anakin and Ahsoka. So, I mean, I'm sure people are gonna buy this. People buy every Star Wars figure, but
Yeah,
this is
he
still
looks
gonna be a
cool.
no for me.
It's
I
it's
love
a
Ewan
pass for me
McGregor, but
also. Um, One thing with my Maji cases now that they're up is that I decided to combine my Star Wars shelf. That's why you can see like there's an empty shelf. I was originally going to have two, and I just started selling some things off, and I think I'm good with one. One Star Wars shelf is enough.
yeah, that's how it's gonna be for me too.
Any interest in the DeLorean?
Okay. You know what? I actually really love the look of the DeLorean. However, I don't have any of the I don't have Doc Brown, I don't have Marty, I don't have anyone from the series. So it would look really out of place if I just had this sitting in my cabinet out of nowhere.
I mean, you'd have to buy the others. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I could do maybe like a Deadpool gimmick because I know they did that on the cover of a Deadpool comic, but it wouldn't be worth like what the
no,
$700 or
no,
more that this is probably worth.
it looks great. Um, but yeah, I just don't love those movies that much. I'm a little young for them, just a little bit.
Mhm.
Not that I haven't. I've watched them as an adult, but like I didn't grow up with it. I've got no nostalgia about it. I don't give a fuck about any of these things. I hate them.
Yeah, I think our consensus for most of the Iron Man figures are the
Yeah.
same. Is that these are pretty worthless, and but someone's gonna buy them.
So I have Jake Sully, the original release,
Hmm.
and so now they're releasing this one. Actually, the reason I bought the original is because of this. I I wanted the war paint version.
Do you think the old one looks better?
I just prefer the war paint version. He
All
just
right.
I just don't like this plain version. I think the war paint is the cool version of this figure. Not that I have nothing against this release though. It's
Mm-hmm.
what he looked like in the movie, so no big deal there. But if if I was going to spend a couple hundred on an Avatar figure, it would not be like their civilian looking one. um,
Hmm.
I will not buy these animals, these flying animals, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they look pretty cool, but they're if you've seen like the press photos, like they're massive. There's even if you
Yeah,
have Magicase, there's no way
yeah, they're
you're gonna fit
gigantic.
those in there.
So I think that's an exciting release. They're getting some mileage out of that body.
You know what? If I had the money, I would definitely buy him and Natiri because I love those. I love those movies. I love the way they look. Um, but
But
there
Natiri
is.
also doesn't have the war paint, and like the original movie, she does. And I would want that version because she looks pretty cool.
I've also heard the complaint that her bow is massively undersized.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
supposed to be much bigger,
yeah.
but
Here's,
that's a very minor nitpick.
I mean, it's a pretty big difference if you look at this.
Yeah.
It's huge compared to what they've got. Um,
Hmm. She
I
doesn't look
also,
bad, at least.
I don't know if that like, I mean, the comments are saying exactly what I'm thinking, which is, it doesn't look quite like her, does it?
It looks a little off, but I mean, I still think it looks kind of cool.
It's
It's
close.
it's the chin. The chin's a little thin, I think.
I think it's the chin and the jawline. Like it's feminine.
Mhm.
Female faces are so hard. Even when I draw them like myself, like they're so hard. Um,
Yeah, I can imagine.
okay.
But yeah, she looks cool.
Yeah, so this is a pass for me. So does she have nipples under there?
Yeah, you can see them. They're there.
Yeah, it's a pass for me because she doesn't match the Jake Sully I have. So I'll look into getting her like in the sequels or something. See
Who
what's
knows?
up.
Maybe you can customize it and like give your own war paint. Like just put like chalk on it or something.
I don't know if I would mess around like that. This Wonder Woman came out, Wonder Woman 84, the standard outfit.
I mean, it doesn't look bad. I have a bias because I hate the movie.
I would potentially pick up the head sculpt if I saw it, just for my
Hmm.
Justice League Wonder Woman.
I'm also a
But
little impartial to those seamless bodies, just because if you keep them posed for too long, they rip.
yeah,
You have to have her in a museum pose, otherwise those arms and
I
legs are going to
kind
get
of
damaged.
do anyway. I don't know. I'm just kind of cold on the whole Gal Gadot Wonder Woman.
You know, aren't they going to reboot it anyway for the most part?
They haven't said what they're doing with her, but yeah, probably.
Well, I mean, never mind. I guess it's a spoiler. Yeah,
I don't love.
I'm not gonna buy this though.
No, I'm not gonna buy. I might look for some of the parts. Like some people don't like. She's got like gold on her boobs, and I don't know what the deal is with that, but
Kind of just looks like weathering.
her head is a little masculine too, just a little bit.
Hmm.
It's a very stylized version. It's not really Gal Gadot, but it's a better. It's the best likeness you can get that has the tiara
Mm.
because the training version I think is the best likeness, but it doesn't have the tiara.
Also, isn't it rooted hair?
The
Or am
training version is not, but it's like a ponytail.
one of them has rooted hair. I know that,
Yeah,
but
a couple of them do, and they don't look good. I don't like the way my Wonder Woman looks, but what are you gonna do?
I was sort of tempted to buy the golden armor version at some point because
That has a good likeness.
it was massively discounted on Sideshow, and I kind of wanted to do some
It's still
experiments with the
pretty
armor.
expensive though, isn't it?
It was on sale pretty big last time I checked, but I think they changed it.
But you're gonna pay a couple hundred no matter what, right?
Yeah, no matter what. Well, I mean, you're gonna pay a couple hundred for these things, no matter what. Yeah, but
Um, Captain America Falcon.
yeah, hard pass. I already have one Captain America, and I don't need another one.
I actually think he looks good. This figure looks good, better
Yeah,
than it did in the show.
I'm not saying he looks bad. I'm just saying like he doesn't necessarily have a place in my collection.
How much would you pay?
For him with the wings,
Mm-hmm.
uh, without trying to insult Sideshow, I'd probably pay like 350 maybe
Holy shit!
or 400.
I was trying to make a point. I would take it for 150.
Oh, really?
I'm
Well,
not.
how much are they selling it for?
Uh, I don't know.
That's if I wanted it, I'd pay that. But
How much would you pay for it now? Like, how cheap would it have to be for you to
for
be
for
like,
you for
all
you
right,
to
I'll jump
convince
on
me to
that?
buy it.
Yeah,
Maybe like 200, 250
that's
with the
250
wings.
shipped.
Yeah.
It's 375 right now.
Okay, so I basically just named the actual price.
375 before tax, before shipping.
It's basically
No,
400 something with
yeah,
tax.
for me it would be 150 shipped. Is I would take this figure.
I was sort of assuming this thing would be a little bit more expensive, but I guess not.
It's the space for it, and like the fact that I already have a Falcon that is arguably better, like because he doesn't look like Captain America. um,
Yeah, I greatly prefer his old version. If I was gonna get a Falcon at all.
yeah, so that's kind of where I have my Falcon. I have Captain America front and center. I don't think I need a Falcon Captain America.
Mhm.
XE suit, right? Yeah, the XE suit
This
from
is the ice
Arkham
suit.
games. Yeah. I kind of think this is hideous.
Was it too stocky?
I just think it's ugly. Part of me likes it, but I am also like, as far as bat suits go, it's pretty ugly.
He kind of reminds me of the what's that version of Batman that fights like old Superman? Like
You
that
mean
they
in the
base
comics? In
yeah, like they
the
base Batman v Superman on.
The Dark Knight Returns?
I think so. That kind of reminds me of this. He's got like that stocky
Well,
build.
that's
Maybe you
what
could.
the armored suit from the movie is, the Batman vs Superman movie.
Mhm.
It's based on that. This is, he has all kinds of suits, so like whatever. I just can't imagine actually paying for this. I mean, this would be like $100 figure for me.
I'm still surprised they've never done a Mister Freeze figure. I'd probably buy that, even though I
Well,
don't have a lot of DC
I
figures.
would buy an Arnold Schwarzenegger one before that.
It's
So
kind of odd because I don't have Batman yet. I have Deathstroke and Batgirl. So
dude, 375. This is another one over $400 for this figure.
he's a big figure. I
He
mean,
is. I can't ever see myself doing that.
yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. It's gonna be a pass for me too.
We got a new Bane. I had Bane, the original one, and I sold it. So now we've got a new one with seamless arms.
Hmm.
He's bigger, but it looks like his head might be the same size.
I like his accessories. Like I might go aftermarket and buy some of the stuff he comes with, but I
It,
don't think I'm gonna buy the figure.
it doesn't say he has a new sculpt. I think it's the same sculpt, obviously with a paint upgrade. But he was a smaller figure. This was before they raised the scale. So
Hmm.
he might look like a pinhead, and that you kind of can't tell in the pictures.
Well, they're showing you the comparisons.
No,
Okay,
those are
can I
the
ask something?
eyeball. I'm sorry.
What is it with Sideshow doing rolling eyeballs on like every figure now? Because I see that everywhere now.
I think it's just the new offering. It's a good idea.
Yeah, but still, like it seems like so much work.
Yeah, the sculpts that look to the side a little bit are always more lifelike. But if you paint
Hmm.
them that way, it kind of limits the posing ability.
Hmm.
So this is the DX19, I assume.
Well, they don't really do that for any of the Star Wars figures because they all have peg necks for the most part,
That's true.
and you
Yeah.
can't do that. You need the head sculpt, not the neck.
So I've cooled a lot. Batman is my favorite character of all time, but I've cooled a lot on the Dark Knight trilogy.
Hmm.
I think the Dark Knight
Really?
Rises is horrible. Um, Bane was okay, but I can't see myself buying it. I had him and Catwoman. I sold them both. I've still got like my Ra's al Ghul. I don't even know if I'm going to buy the DX19. If you notice on it's actually like kind of a lot of people are selling theirs, and it's not even an old figure. So um, I just don't know. Like I think I might just stick with what I've got. If they come out with a really awesome Heath Ledger Joker, which I suspect is coming around the corner,
Well, isn't InArt doing Joker?
they are, but you're going to pay a lot for that one.
Yeah, like $600 for it. Yeah, no.
Yeah, so I don't need it that bad. I like the Joker I have. He's just underscaled. He's small compared to like Ben Affleck's Batman and even
Hmm.
Batman Forever. If you buy that one, he's small. So I don't know that I would really go down that line. And even if I did decide to get the DX19 and the new Joker, would I really need a Bane? I don't think so.
Yeah.
So
Well. Yeah, I noticed someone said like on the subreddit that I think it's 500, like Sideshow's approaching like their 500th figure or
I think it's
something.
700.
700? Oh,
I
I was
remember
way off,
when
but
200 was a big deal. It was Henry Cavill's Man of Steel.
yeah. What do you think the
Um,
milestone's going to be?
I think it might be Heath Ledger.
All right, that'd be nice.
So they released this Mark One. I think this is like the 3.0 or something.
Yeah, I got to see this in person too.
Do you remember we
I wasn't
talked
very
about it
impressed with it.
and the scale was the same?
Yeah,
They
we talked
basically
about it.
reissued it, and it's so he's still like midget man, and especially like compared to the modern Iron Mans, he looks like it looks like Bring Your Son to Work Day.
Don't talk to me or my son ever again.
Yeah, so you'd have to put him on the stand to even like I don't know, man. Like I like this outfit a lot. I would
Hmm.
have bought it if it was in the new scale.
I like some of the like the parts of the armor, but yeah, I wouldn't buy this. I only have like well, I have three Iron Man figures, but I only have like one real one, which is the Homecoming suit.
When they announced this, I was super excited for this and the Doctor Strange Iron Man.
Hmm.
And it was like one of those things where I was like, fuck yeah, I'm so in for both of those. And then within like 3 hours of just like kind of thinking about it and looking at them, I was like, you know what? I am so not gonna buy these.
I was also really pumped for Doctor Strange, Iron Man, and then all our discussions basically talked me out of it. And I did exactly what I said I was going to do. I bought those little magic effects aftermarket, and I have no need for the figure now.
They haven't made that Doctor Strange Iron Man, have they?
Yeah, he came out.
He did come out?
Yeah, I have the blue little like magic effects that he comes with.
The Mark 6 with the suit up gantry. This is a cool piece.
But it must be massive.
I will never buy it. But
Yeah, this is
also
a centerpiece figure. Like this is definitely something like you need a lot of space for.
I also think this the sculpt kind of sucks.
But what
I
was
don't
wrong about it?
I don't love the it doesn't I don't know, he doesn't look like him.
He looks
Something's
like
off.
he looks like a wax figure.
Something is off. Yeah, I don't know what.
Maybe it's the smile.
Like it's a solid effort, but
He's got like
something's
smile. He's
not
got like
right.
smile lines.
He almost looks Asian. Something about it. I don't know.
It's a Hong Kong self insert.
It's just yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that one.
Maybe it's
Um,
just like we're not used to seeing the smile.
yeah, I don't know. You know, the original Mark 7 from the like the first Avengers movie had a smirking head sculpt. And I
Did he
thought that
look
that was so
bad?
cool. That was almost what got me interested was they called it Tony Stark's Iron Man and there was the figure of him like smirking. I didn't own a single Marvel figure at that time. Um, but so I don't know, it kind of reminds me of that. This is a cool set. Um, way too rich for my blood. I'm just curious how much it costs. Mark 6, right?
With the suit up gantry. 700 bucks.
Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, I paid 800 for the Batmobile, so I guess it's not that crazy. But yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, damn.
I have to
Okay.
say, I've been a little underwhelmed with Hot Toys lately. Like, not saying, not specifically commenting on that, but I'm just not that into anything that they've announced since our last episode. What do you think about this Ant Man?
I think I'm glad I bought the figure that I did off of you when I did
Which
because
one is that one? The
that was
sequel
the
one?
yeah, that's the Ant Man and the Wasp version. Um, I think I like that one much better.
These are
Every
matching. So, like, part of me is like, well, if I am going to go into this line, at least these are matching.
well, I mean, I'm perfectly fine with just having Ant Man and Wasp sitting next to each other. I like her old colors. I think they look a little too over designed for my taste.
They are over designed. Yeah. I liked it when I was in the movie. I thought that they didn't look too bad.
The head sculpt is better than the stupid smiling one, at least.
Yeah, but and I'm looking at this and I'm like, I wish it just doesn't capture him, you know?
Yeah, I would never display it with that head sculpt anyway.
But
So
I would. And so I actually have I bought the original Ant-Man and I
yeah,
like that I have the helmet up because I like them unmasked. Um this is a their best effort, but the other one, the original one, because it's inside the helmet, the likeness is heavily improved because of that, because you don't have to see the whole face. I don't people will always say that's like the best version, but it's because you don't see the whole head. And so the likeness, you kind of like give it a pass. I think if that was a full head sculpt, I don't think it wouldn't look as good as this. Um, having
Is that
said
person
that,
to the side saying he looks like Ryan from The Office?
maybe, yeah,
He kind of looks a little bit like him,
yeah, I could see that.
BJ Novak.
Um, this is to me, and this is spoilers. Came, I don't know, it was months ago. He should have died in this movie, and that
I
would have
mean,
made this figure like really valuable.
like the last. Well, I mean, it probably wouldn't be the last Ant Man, especially since he got two sitting right there next to him. But yeah,
But Scott
I
Lang
don't
should have
disagree.
died, you know,
Hmm.
and this would have made this figure legendary. Like he would have been a martyr.
Yeah, I guess I'm still very happy with the one I have now, especially this one as well. I don't like the color on Wasp in here at all. I know it's comic and show accurate, but I don't like it. I don't like her head sculpt. I don't like the short hair. I like the longer ponytail.
The tangerine lily. Um, I think that I'm okay with the colors. I think that she looks a little Asian also in this one, but that the sculpt is actually pretty good.
Did they fix the dick on her outfit?
I feel like they did a little bit. Like
Not really.
it's
From a
less
distance, it's worse.
penisy if you ask me. I don't know.
It's worse from a distance. And again, I mean, nah. You know what? I think I'm gonna stick with the one I have now.
I really don't know that I'll ever get another wasp. I think if I do, it might be this one.
Hmm. I mean, I don't mind her face. It's just the hair that kind of bothers me. And
Yeah.
from the looks of it, she looks much more posable. It looks like they're doing with her what they did with Black Widow, which is they're making like the black portions of the suit like spandex almost, so it's very
Mhm.
posable, which I
Yeah.
like considering the other one's like not very posable plastic.
You notice the wings are actually a lot smaller,
Yeah, a little bit.
and I'm okay with that. I think some people would consider that a negative, but I'm okay with that. Just looking at my collection right now and how much space is already taken up, like fuck it, make it smaller. Like I'm okay with it. We never got
Yeah.
a Cassie reveal,
I mean, she was in the picture with Ant-Man.
but no announcement. What do you think that's about?
Maybe it's a licensing thing. I mean,
No, they have the license. What? Like, is it because
uh,
the movie's not doing well? They're like, ah, fuck it.
well, you think that figure's gonna go to like figure limbo?
I think right now it is already in figure limbo. Because remember
Oh.
they teased Shazam. There's no Shazam figure. Like
Hmm.
they had a full announcement. Well, I guess maybe you weren't collecting them, but
Well,
they
there's a bunch of them that I've seen. Like there's some clones that haven't come out. Kit Fisto's still on there, and Mantis was on there until recently.
yeah, yeah. So here is the biggest draw for me, and also the biggest disappointment. They are redoing the 1989 Batman.
Hmm.
It looks like a brand new figure, more or less. This is a nice tease with the Batcave. I'm not going to buy that. Um, they've got new faceplates. If I'm being honest, I kind of prefer the original faceplates.
I love the
Um,
reactions on the side. That face on the left is a little weird,
it is, yeah,
like Napoleon Dynamite.
and the original one has some cool. Like this one's okay. The original one comes with this. The original one does have one that's like an action pose, and it does have one that's like a little bit parted. Um, I don't think these are necessarily better than that. I will never use this base. I just don't have the space for it because he's coupled with my Batmobile.
Hmm.
Um, I look forward to a suit improvement, but let's be honest, this is a very museum pose figure. But here is my biggest concern. Okay, here's why I'm not thrilled about this. Also, it seems like he has a lot less accessories than the original release. Not that I
Yeah.
care because I never use them, right? Um, here's the biggest problem. They they are remaking. Oh no, it looks like he's got all the same crap. He's got a whole bunch of crap that he came with. Um, they are remaking the Batmobile
Yeah,
also.
I saw it in the picture.
So he needs to fit the Batmobile. The
Hmm.
problem with that is he's a smaller figure. When you look at the Batman Forever Robin, that Robin is the same height or maybe slightly taller than this figure. So when
Ooh,
you put
that's
this
not good.
figure up next to any other Batman, he looks like a small guy. Like bring your son to work day.
Mhm.
Um, so okay, so what's wrong with that? Well, they're presumably going to make another one for the Flash, right?
Presumably. Well,
Is
maybe you sure this isn't that version?
Yeah, this is from Batman 1989.
Yeah, but it's still the same suit. I mean, I'm sure what they'll do is they'll just add like an older face underneath it.
It's not the same suit.
Really?
Yeah. Um,
I thought he was in the original bat suit.
no, he's not that I recall. Like just because I know the Cal, this is not the original Cal. And if we could find this outfit, I know a lot of people don't know the nuance of it, but I do. That body that you're seeing, that is not the Batman 1989. It's also not even the Batman Returns one. This is a
Okay,
whole
well,
different thing.
I'm speaking from the perspective of someone who doesn't know all the nuance and all the details of the suit. It just sort of
Like
looked the
if you
same.
look at
Well, I can tell that's not the same just
yeah.
from the thing we just saw.
So the question is, they're presumably going to make this figure, right? Is he
Well,
going to
which
be
would
in
you
the new
rather buy?
scale? Well, I'm going to buy it. The question is he going to be in the new scale? Is he going to look like a much bigger version of the original guy? Is he going to be in scale with Ben Affleck and Val Kilmer and the DX-19? Is that the scale? And then
So your drawbacks would be he's either the same scale as the original, he fits in the Batmobile, but he doesn't match with the other figures, or he's the same scale as the other figures, but he doesn't fit the Batmobile.
it's not really about the Batmobile, but the Batmobile is the reason I think that they're not bumping up the scale of the original one.
Mm-hmm.
So the original one's going to be the small guy. So this guy is either going to tower over his younger self or he's going to be just as small, which would make him a very weird scale. I don't know what they're going to do. And that's kind of what I'm thinking about is I was hoping for a 2.0 that wasn't going to fit in the Batmobile. One that I could like pose next to the other Batman and he wouldn't look silly. So that's not what we're getting. And I imagine the new one is going to look bigger just because he's going to be posed next to the Flash, who will also be bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, but that's a little disappointing. It almost makes me want like a third party to give it a shot and like make a bigger version. But yeah.
Maybe.
All right.
I guess we'll see.
And then they've got the Batmobile again. My Batmobile's sitting over there. I think you can see it. I love that thing. It's like,
Does it have like all the little details that that one has?
yeah, it's a straight reissue.
Oh, it is. Oh, so it has like all those little side things.
Yeah, they might have improved it in some way, like slightly, but I don't care. Whatever. Like, it doesn't even matter. Like, you either have the Batmobile or you want the Batmobile. Like, it doesn't matter. Just buy the new one if that's what you want. Um, they're kind of hard to come by.
Yeah,
It's
wow, they don't even have Cassie in that display.
Yeah, and that's actually probably a better sign because it means maybe the figure just isn't ready.
Maybe
We got 10 minutes before we're gonna.
before we do part two.
Yeah, we're only in February. Got another month to go.
You want to just end it now and then just restart it?
No, because we might use up that time too.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
there's the head
like
sculpt.
this. I don't love this. If I'm being honest.
The cowl looks a little bit more like it doesn't look rubberish to me. It looks like charcoal almost.
That is accurate. That's what it looked like.
Huh. Oh boy, this one.
Ketchup and mustard Daredevil. I genuinely think this is an awful figure.
I don't know
And
about
it,
you. This is an instant buy for me.
is it?
No.
Oh, okay. I mean, the weird thing is like it's a new suit. It's not just a recolor. It's a new suit. But like look at the arms. Like
Yeah.
Where's the definition? This is so weird. And it looks like they kept the same body.
I don't mind the unhelmeted head sculpt.
Dude, his head looks gigantic. It's because the body is
I don't mind
undersized.
it.
Look at it. Dude, imagine a person in real life like this. This head is gigantic.
Maybe it's
And
it's his body overcompensating for being blind.
so I don't know if they plan to continue to tweak it. I can't imagine that they have intentions to change it, but then would show it off like this. But his body was too small on the original release. Like he
Mhm.
was small. In fact, a lot of people did the Deadpool mod. I'm one of them, where we took the Deadpool body, we put on the Daredevil's legs so he was shorter, because the Deadpool body had the joints that were strong enough for the suit, and we made him bigger. Like my Daredevil is modded; he's got a bigger torso. This is like a teenage boy, and that head is gigantic. I do like the head. I think it's when looking at this picture, I think it's better than the So-So offering.
Mhm.
But when I saw JC Hong's photo without the sunglasses, I don't think it looked as good.
His batons look a little thin to me. I remember in the Netflix series it looked a little bit like beefier almost. Maybe that's just personal preference though. But I can tell right off the bat, this figure is made from that same material that they use in the Spider-Man figures that makes it unposable. Because if you
Yeah,
pose it, it'll crease.
and the original was not very posable either.
Which sucks when it comes to figures like this, because he's supposed to be like acrobatic. Like
Yeah,
even in all those pictures.
yeah.
You have to museum pose him.
I Mine isn't in a museum pose. He's got his arms up like this.
Mm-hmm.
That's about as much as you can do. His legs are, a little spread apart. Um, Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi looks very bored. It's kind of a funny expression. Like he just looks like he's standing in line at the ATM or some shit.
Or sitting in the theater watching his own movie.
I mean, we're on the wrong side of that. A lot of people watching this probably think that movie is amazing. I'll just say, like, you can turn off the podcast right now, but
That
Shang-Chi
movie
fucking sucks.
sucks. Yeah. Like I think that's a hill all of us are gonna die on at this point. Like
um,
it's not good. And I mean, like I don't mind the figure. Like he doesn't look terrible, but I still think he looks like a Dura Milaje.
I think the
And it,
design is not good, and that's not Hot Toys' fault. Design is just a guy in a shirt. I might buy the stuff that what is this? Let's see.
I like his rings that he comes
Prototype.
with. Like I'm a real sucker when it comes to like magical effects and stuff
Is this
and like little
this
props.
what is this? This is Photoshop?
I'm pretty sure it's photoshopped. Yeah, it's just the rings.
Um
I like his bow staff.
I was thinking if I ever buy a Shang-Chi figure, I might want to just pick up that one accessory he has where it's like meant to be tangled with his dad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
They're not using him because I
it's the
guess
red and it's the orange and the blue together.
yeah, and like Wenwu isn't out, so he's not. None of these photos are using him, but um, yeah,
I mean, you know what I might end up doing is this might be another one of those figures that I just buy a bunch of stuff from at aftermarket because I really wanted to do a custom Storm Shadow figure, but I can't find any hands that match his Asian face coloring. But Shang-Chi matches perfectly, so it would be a great
okay.
mix.
Um, this is I think this is a shelf warmer figure. Even if people say they like Shang-Chi, like this is the accessory.
Yeah.
Um,
I care
even
more
people
about
say
Wenwu than I do about him.
I probably will buy Wenwu. That's the funny part. Is like I hate that movie, but I liked him. I probably
Mhm.
will buy Wenwu for
Isn't he
cheap.
isn't he an exclusive though? Like, didn't we report that he was an
No,
exclusive somewhere?
he's on Sideshow. You could just order it.
No. Okay.
They're both going to be shelf warmers. I kind of like this accessory, but
Mhm.
I will wait and see what they do with him in the future. This movie did not sell me on that idiot. Um, yeah,
For a martial artist, he doesn't really look that posable, but I could be wrong. He's got good pants.
he's yeah. It's the material of the suit. Like it just doesn't look good. He's posable. It just doesn't look good. So yeah, that's an easy pass for me. Let's see if we could do one more. Squeeze another in here.
Paz Vizsla.
I don't know who this was. Do I need to know?
This is the heavy infantry Mandalorian from The Mandalorian, and it's a re-release.
Was he a bad guy?
No, he's well, not
He's
really,
fighting Mando.
because they had a duel over who gets to wield the dark saber, and he lost. Spoiler alert! But
Oh. Have you been watching the new Mando thing?
yeah, it's not terrible, but it's not high art.
Is it as good as the previous season, or because I thought those were pretty much filler the whole time?
I mean, like they're dealing more with the Mandalorian Creed part of it, which I don't mind. I mean,
Which is the most interesting part, I think, right?
yeah, for the most part, I like it for the most part. I like it.
So are you getting this guy?
No, I already own him. I have the
Oh, right,
previous
right.
version.
Yeah.
The only difference, I think, and I could be wrong, so don't quote me on this. I think the only real difference is he comes with the deflector shield on his wrist.
Why is he being reissued or remade?
I honestly I don't know.
I mean, it says like the Book of Boba Fett. So did he show up in Boba Fett?
There's an episode in Book of Boba Fett that's entirely dedicated to the Mandalorian, and that's the one episode he shows up in.
So they're just milking it because I guess the first one sold well or something.
Yeah, basically. Like looking at this, he comes with everything his original comes with, except the deflector shield's the only new thing. I think maybe they changed like the suit or something. But
2 minutes. Let's try to get through the Ahsoka.
She doesn't look bad. I'm not gonna buy her.
So this. I can't even tell. Is this the realistic version or the cartoon version?
That is the live action Mandalorian version, the one that's played by Rosario Dawson.
It doesn't look live action to me.
This is the older version. This is definitely the Mandalorian version.
I can see Rosario Dawson's face. It just doesn't look like it doesn't look like skin to me. I don't know. I never watched the show. Like, I mean, I think I saw the one episode in one of the seasons. So I don't know. Maybe I just don't know what she's supposed to look like. Because to me,
I mean, you can look up a side by side. I think the face is a little inaccurate, but it's not awful.
I see Rosario Dawson in it. And if I was going to get one, I would get this version.
If I were to get Ahsoka, I would definitely buy her previous version, the Clone Wars realism version.
Have you looked at her height scaling? Is she like, because they keep making these women figures so small. Is she bigger? Is she Black Widow size or is she bigger?
I don't know. I don't know.
They don't really have her next to anyone.
Well, they have her next to Mando, but
is he short? He's a shorter figure, isn't he?
No, he's about on average with most of them. It's the helmet that gives him the height, but
yeah. Okay. We're gonna pause here and we will be back with part 2.
All right, sweet.
So I'm gonna stop this share. I'm gonna stop the recording. We'll be right back.